Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So in this video we'll be doing the CSS for our digital clock that we built in part 1. So if you haven't watched that yet, you can go watch that right now. I'll have it linked in the cards and description, so you can go watch that and get its source code so you can actually start doing some CSS in this video. So let's get started. So the first thing I'll do is create my style tags, and then I'll grab my everything selector and select everything and give it a font weight of bold, and style my browser by typing body and give it a width of 100%, height 100%, background color. You can set it to any color you want. I'm just going to go with this. So it's a hexadecimal color. So it's hashtag 19172E. So that's just going to be this dark blue color, sort of like a marine color, I guess. And then we'll style our container and give it a background color of RGBA 255, 255, 255, and then 5%, so 0.05. And this is how you make your clock actually look like a glass, by making it white, except you give it a very small opacity value, like 5%. Now you can actually see it looks sort of like a glass, but our container is a little bit too short. Let's give it some more width, so we can do z index 1000. So this will make sure that our container is always on top of the other elements. You don't have to do 1000, you don't have to go that big, but you can if you want to. Anyways, now I'm going to restrain its width to only 50%. Height will be 250 pixels so that we can actually see it a little better. And then display flex, justify content center, so that will position everything in our container to the center horizontally, so on the x-axis. And then we'll align it vertically by typing align items center as well. So this is going to align it according to the y-axis, which is vertical. And then we can do position absolute, top 35%, left 50%, transform, if I can spell it, transform, translate, -50%, -50%, and then we'll also give it another property, scale. So we want to scale it by 35%. And you see how right now its corners are 90 degrees, they're 90 degrees sharp. But to round that off, we can do border radius by typing 10 pixels, and now you'll notice that its corners is a little bit rounder than it was before. And then we'll do backdrop filter, blur 5 pixels. And that's going to do nothing right now because we don't have any other elements stacked underneath our container, but you'll see in a minute what's going to happen. And then we'll do box shadow 10 pixels, black. So once we start styling our square and making it actually appear on our browser, you'll notice what happens with this property right here. You'll see what it actually does. So I'm going to select my hour, my minute, and my second, and give them all a font size of 6.1 rem, because right now it's a little bit too small to read. And we'll also give it a font family of sans serif. Color will be white, margin 25 pixels, so that they're spaced out 25 pixels away from each other. And then we can do border radius 15 pixels, padding 22 pixels, box shadow will be 10 pixels, black. And I forgot the O. And now you can actually see it appear much better on our container. It's like they have their own individual squares with shadows underneath it. And then we can select our second with seconds and make its color RGB 218, 0. So that's going to be yellow. And the reason why our font isn't changing is because I misspelled sans serif. I forgot the S. And now it should change. Yes, great. So now we can actually start styling our square. So we'll give our square a width of 180 pixels, height of 180 pixels, because if the width and height are the same, then it's the square. And we'll do z index -1000, so that it's always below all the other elements on our browser. And then we'll do transition 0.1 s linear, position relative, border radius 10 pixels. And now everything is starting to take place. It's looking a lot better than it was before, where we just had the time located at the top left corner and we didn't even give any colors or any shadows or none of that. We just had the time itself, which was looking pretty boring, but now it's a lot better. And then we can style our square 1 by selecting it individually and then giving it a background of linear gradient, and the color will be hashtag F9D924. So that's yellow blended in with 00FF2F. So that's yellow blended in with green to make this bright green yellow neon color. And then we'll do top 380 pixels, so we're going to move it down 380 pixels. And then left 140 pixels. And the animation, this is where the fun part starts. So we're going to give it an animation of animate. That's going to be its name. The duration will be 4.3 seconds, and then the timing function will be ease in and out, and it will go on forever. And the box shadow will be 003 pixel, and then hashtag 00FF2F. So that's basically the green color, and we can just copy all of this down 3 more times to make it actually glow. And we're gonna grab the yellow color and then copy it, paste it right here and right here, so it's going to alternate. And we also want to change this value to 25, and this will be 50. And the last value will always be the greatest so that it actually glows. And then we'll style our second square, so square 2, give it a background of linear gradient, hashtag 01D6FF, and then hashtag 0F24F9. So that's blue mixed in with light blue to make this color right here. And then we'll position it left 1060 pixels. So we want it to go across our screen to the other side, so on the right side. Then we'll do top 190 pixels. Animation, it's going to have a different name of animate 2. 4.3 seconds as well, linear infinite. And then the box shadow will be 003 pixel, this color right here. So I'm just going to copy it, paste it right there, type a comma, then paste this down 3 more times. Change this to 25, this will be 50. This will be 200, and then we can change this second value to this color, and this last one to be this color as well. And now it looks really cool. And then we can start calling our keyframes for our square. So our first keyframes will be for this green square right here. So we'll type keyframes, and it's supposed to be an @ not a hashtag, or else it won't work. So at 0% of the animation, so that's basically at the start of the animation, we want the transform property to be translate y 0 pixels. So that's going to do nothing. But at 50%, this is where things start to go different ways. So we can do transform translate y negative 350 pixels. So if you set it to a negative value, it will go up, but if you set it to a positive value, it will go down. That's how the y-axis works in Visual Studio Code and just in all coding editors. And then once the animation is done, we want the transform property to be translate y 0 pixels. So now it's going to move up and down like this forever. And then we can call our keyframes for our second square, so animate 2. Then this will be 0% transform translate y negative 350 pixels. And then at 50%, it's going to be transform translate y 0 pixels. And at 100%, it's going to be this again. So I'll just copy that and paste it in here. And now if we take a look, they're moving up and down, but when the blue one is going up, the green one is going down, so they're going reverse. And then we might as well call our keyframes for our third square, so I'll type keyframes animate 3, because that's going to be the animation name for our third square. So at 0%, we want the transform translate x to be 1000 pixels, and then at 50% we want the transform x to be 0 pixels. So I'll set it to 0, and then once the animation is done, we want the transform property to be translate x 1000 pixels. So it's going to move to the right 1000 pixels, and then move back 1000 pixels, and then move over again 1000 pixels, and then it's just going to repeat that over and over again. And then after this, we can style our colons which are these small dots right here. You probably can't see it really well since it's kind of small. Do font size 3 rem, color will be white, font family will be sans, and make sure this time I don't forget the S in sans, sans serif. And actually 3 rem isn't big enough, let's make it 5.2. Yeah, that looks a little better now. Then we can style our third square, so square 3, and give it a background color, well, background, just background. And it'll have a linear gradient value of hashtag FF001111, and this will be hashtag FFAA00. This is red blended in with orange to make this fiery magma color, lava color. And then the bottom value will be 50 pixels. The left value will be 50 pixels. The animation name will be animate3, 10 seconds, linear, infinite. And the reason why I'm making this duration to be 10 seconds is because it's traveling more distances. It's traveling further than square 1 and square 2, because square 1 and square 2 is only traveling 350 pixels, so it gets only half the time that it takes square 3 to travel, which is why I did that, so it'll look like they're traveling at the same pace. And now if we take a look at our screen, we're done. Well, we're not done. We still have to do box shadow. 003 pixel red, 25 pixels. This will be 50. Well, this will be 30. This will be 130, and this will be RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.5. So it's red with a 50. Well, it's not red. It's white with a 50. So it's going to be red with a 50% opacity, and we'll do the same for our second value as well. And now we are done. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this project. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go check out my other videos, because I posted a lot of CSS animations and JavaScript projects, usually mathematic related videos. So if any of those topics sound interesting to you, make sure you go check out my other videos on my channel page. And if you have any feedbacks for me, or just anything you want me to improve my videos on, let me know in the comments below. Like, if you have any suggestions for new intros or outros, let me know and I'll do that. Or else, other than that, I hope you guys have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video.